Hey Mandy Maniacs, and welcome back to the Friday Fear Drop. 4 horrors, one night, with one blood red kiss of dark romance waiting for you at the end. Let's begin. Hello Mandy Maniacs, I will warn you, you might not want to watch this at night, especially if you have a basement. Hey Mandy Maniacs, so as you know, the theme of the week is creepy basement. And I have kind of, it's like a show and tell, right? So I have like a tell that is a show too. So I'll tell you guys something strange about our basement, and tomorrow we're gonna ghost hunt in it. So be sure that you are subscribed because tomorrow that video is coming out. But I don't want to miss it. Anyway. So our basement is kind of creepy, right? It's always been kind of creepy. I'll tell you more about that whole situation tomorrow, like, I guess the lore behind it. So, you guys don't hate me, I'm an atheist, I don't believe in any of that stuff, but I still think it's super fun. So our basement, right? You'll be sitting on the couch upstairs, and there's no one in the basement, obviously. And yeah, if you're wondering, that's where my room actually is. It's like the only thing in our basement. The rest is storage, and it is dusty and crusty, you guys. I won't lie to you. Like, it looks like we're hardcore hoarders in the basement. It's disgusting, and everything's covered in, like, chicken dust because our chickens were living in here when it was cold, so they wouldn't, like, die in the cold or be miserable. They're happy back outside now that the weather's warm. But anyway, it's nasty. And I'm going to show you guys the whole basement tomorrow, so it might be even a little bit of gross out horror with our ghost hunting, so get ready for that. Yeah, anyway, so you'll be sitting there and you'll hear the sound of like footsteps, like bare footsteps running across concrete, and it's like, okay. Or you'll hear like music coming from the basement. There's been a lot of weird instances. The like door to the basement like will kind of shake or rattle, and my bedroom door does it too, right there. I've determined that's like if somebody opens or shuts a door upstairs or like whatever, I think the momentum will move it, and that's what's causing that situation. But like you'll hear like a voice or something, and it's super weird because you'll be upstairs and like maybe one person will be in the living room, one person will be like in their bedroom, whatever. Or you'll both be sitting on the couch together, and like downstairs, you'll hear someone's voice. Like, yeah, like they're sitting next to you, but you hear their voice in the basement, and it's like, oh, that's weird, right? So I don't know, it's happened to kind of all of us. My mom, like, I was outside at the chicken coop, right? And she heard me like yell up from the basement, and she's like, oh, okay, I thought you were at the chickens, but anyway. So I come in and she's like, wait, you were at the chicken coop? I thought you were in the basement because I heard you yell up from the basement. I'm like, no, I was at the chicken coop. Or like my daughter, I'll like be going to the other room and she's heard, like, she's like, oh, I thought you were doing the laundry. It's weird stuff like that. Or I'll be like, Mom, what were you doing in the basement? Like 10 minutes ago, I thought I heard a scream. Or I'll run down there and be like, and she's like, no, I've been sitting right here in my bedroom. And I'm like, oh, that's weird. You know what I mean? I don't know. Or she'll be at her dad's and you'll like hear her voice from the basement and you're like, yeah, that's different. So anyway, I don't know. Maybe all three of us are just like crazy or something. That's always possible, right? But, anyway, so that's like that weird, like our basement's a strange place. Anyway. So, tomorrow we're gonna ghost hunt it a little bit. I'm no pro, so I might totally botch it. And if so, I'm sorry guys. Give me pointers, we can always try again, whatever. So, without further ado, I wanna know, do you have a creepy basement? Have you been in a basement that kind of gave you the chills or the shivers where you're like, oh, like any story of your own or creepy experience, please tell me about it. I would love to know in the comments. I love hearing people's like strange and unusual experiences. So, now moving on to the would you survive? Would you survive my basement? Probably not. Maybe not. Survive me. So, would you survive? It's 2:13 a.m. The power goes out. You hear something dragging beneath your floor. But you live alone. No pets, no one else, just you. A faint light flickers from the basement door, even though you know you turned it off. And then you hear a faint from the other side. Suddenly, you hear a whisper on the other side of the door that says, "Don't come down." It already knows you're awake. It knows that you're right on the other side of the door. And then you hear something so much worse. The voice of the person you really like, or maybe even love. And they are calling for help from the basement. Do you throw open the door and rush down the stairs as quick as you can? Or do you stack stuff in front of the door and run back to your room, locking it? Or do you leave the house as quickly as you can? Comment below. What do you do? And would you survive? So, there's an old legend, and I'll warn you, after hearing this one, you may never want to go in your basement again in the dark, if you're squeamish. The legend is that cold and darkness are attracted to basements. So, those spaces that people so rarely go, dark, dank, it's like a magnet for dark entities. There's one in particular called the basement shadow. People report seeing a figure standing at the bottom of their stairs, only visible when the lights are out. And the creepiest part, it doesn't come closer. It stands perfectly still, watching you. Unless you look directly at it. And if you do, it mimics you, tilting its head when you tilt your head. Every movement you make, it copies. Until one night, it doesn't copy you anymore. It does something first, and you feel your body follow. Some say if you see it move on its own, you're no longer in control. Now it wears your skin while you're trapped below. You guys have been enjoying this fear drop and this whole week. Of course, tomorrow we're gonna ghost hunt the basement. Without further ado, I have an Eli and Mara story for you. So, this Eli and Mara story is a little longer than a normal Friday Fear Drop story. I hope you guys love it. I also hope the wind does not affect it. It's so windy outside today, and that's where I'm reading it. So, without further ado, here we go. The Airbnb was beautiful, an old Gothic revival that looked like the kind of place you couldn't wait to explore. The basement door had been shut when they arrived, but now it sat open, just a crack. Mara pushed it shut. "Eli?" she called softly. "Yeah?" he called back from the living room. "The basement door, did you open it?" There was a pause. "No?" A cold feeling slid down Mara's spine as she stared at the door. That had to mean they weren't alone. Eli appeared a moment later, his large frame filling the hallway as he walked up behind her. "What's wrong?" he asked. "I just shut the door. When we arrived, it was closed, so if we didn't open it..." Her voice trailed off. He frowned and opened the door. The smell of rot and wet earth poured out. Mara covered her nose. Eli stared down into the darkness. The basement light wasn't on, but something down there shifted. Eli stepped forward. "Stay here," he said. Mara grabbed his arm. "No, that's a terrible idea." He looked over at Mara. His expression softened instantly. He pulled her close, holding her against his soft, plump side, and kissed her head. "I'm not letting anything come up here," he said quietly. A scraping sound echoed up from the basement. "Wouldn't you feel better knowing no one is here with us?" he asked. Mara thought for a moment. "Fine, but I'm not staying up here by myself," she answered. "Okay," Eli agreed, "but stay behind me." The stairs groaned under his weight as he started down, Mara right behind him. The darkness below seemed to swallow the weak light from upstairs. The smell of rot grew stronger. Mara covered her nose. Halfway down, the basement light flicked on. No one turned the light. It flicked on all by itself. Mara jumped. The basement looked normal, at first. Concrete floor, old shelves, storage boxes. But the smell of dirt and rot was stronger than ever. And there in the far corner, a pile of it, fresh, like something had been digging. The scraping sound came back from beneath the dirt. Mara's eyes went wide. Her nails dug into Eli's arm. The pile shifted, just slightly. Then a hand burst through. Gray, rotting, fingers too long, nails cracked and black. Mara gasped in horror. A thin, twisted body crawled out of the ground like it had been buried alive. Its head snapped towards them, its mouth opened too wide. The skin at the corners of its mouth split as it stretched, tearing with a wet, slow rip. And then it smiled. A sound came out of it. Not quite a scream, not quite a laugh. Something broken. Something that had forgotten how to be alive. Mara stumbled back, her breath catching in her throat. Eli kept himself between it and Mara. The thing dragged itself fully from the dirt, joints bending wrong, limbs too long. Its chest caved inward like something had been eating it from inside. Soil poured from its mouth as it crawled closer, leaving a wet trail behind it. The creature's head twitched. Then it lunged. Eli barely had time to react before it slammed into him, knocking him hard onto the concrete floor. The impact echoed through the basement. The thing clawed at him, its long nails sinking, tearing deep wounds into his thick side. But instead of pushing it away, he wrapped his arms around it. "Mara, run," he shouted. She didn't. "I'm not leaving you," she cried, frozen in place. The creature shrieked, its face inches from Eli's, its jaw stretching wider. Its teeth sank into his shoulder. Blood soaked through his shirt. "Run," he roared, louder this time, his voice breaking. "No, no, no," Mara murmured under her breath, trying desperately to think of an idea. The creature's head jerked toward Mara at the sound. Its mouth peeled away from Eli's shoulder, with a wet, sickening tear, strings of blood stretching between them. Its eyes locked onto her. It smiled again. Eli saw it. "No, you don't," he said. With a burst of strength, he shifted, pinning it to the ground. He grabbed its head, tightened his hands, and smashed it into the concrete until it was just a mess of splattered pulp. Another decayed hand popped up through the soil. Eli pushed himself up and grabbed Mara, pushing her toward the stairs. Mara raced up the steps. Eli climbed them behind her, leaving a trail of blood along the stairs. They reached the top of the stairs, Eli slamming the basement door shut behind him so hard the frame rattled. Eli's arms wrapped around Mara, pulling her close against his soft, fat chest despite the blood and pain. Once inside the truck, they both felt safe. No sound but Eli and Mara's heavy breathing. Eli's shirt was soaked through now, dark red, sticking to him. A trickle of blood ran from his mouth. "Hey, hey," Mara's voice cracked as she turned toward him, grabbing his face and shaking it. "Stay with me, okay? Just stay with me." Eli's eyes were half-lidded. Even now, even like this, the moment he saw her, something in his expression softened. Like none of the pain mattered. "You're okay," he murmured. Mara's voice cracked, holding back tears. "Eli, you're not okay." He gave the faintest shake of his head. "Doesn't matter." "It does matter," she choked, still fighting tears. "You're bleeding. Eli, you're barely..." His hands found hers. Weak but steady. "Mara." There was something different in his voice, quieter but heavier. He pulled her close against him despite the pain in his side, in his shoulder. His arms wrapped around her. pulling her against him, pressing her into his wounded side, like she needed to feel... What did I write? Like he needed to feel she was real. That she was still there. Mara collapsed into him, burying her face in his plush, fat belly, desperately needing his softness. His hand rested against the top of her head. I thought, he started, his voice rough. Down there, I thought that was it. She tightened her grip, fingers pressing deeper into his round, immense belly. I did, he swallowed hard, and the only thing I could think about was you, alone, in this place, with that thing. His arm tightened around her. I would have let it tear me apart, he whispered, if it meant you got out. Mara lifted her head, staring into his eyes. He looked exhausted, paler than usual, probably from blood loss, but completely certain. I don't care what happens to me, he said quietly, not if it keeps you safe. She leaned in again, kissing him deeply, his blood smearing across her lips and chin. You almost died, Mara whispered. Eli exhaled slowly. Yeah? I can't lose you, she whispered. You won't, he said softly. All right, guys. That was kind of a long one. So, I hope you enjoyed it. Sorry about the confusion in there. I, somehow doubled up when I was writing and, wrote a sentence that didn't make sense. So, kind of corrected that on the fly. But I hope you enjoyed it. To me, I think it's so romantic. I mean, oh my God, who wouldn't want an Eli, right? But anyway, hope you enjoyed it. Be sure to tune in tomorrow for the mini ghost hunt in my basement. I can't wait to see you back next Friday for the next Friday Fear Drop. Every Friday, we'll have a new theme. Tell me in the comments, what was your favorite part? I'll see you soon. Don't forget to like and subscribe so you don't miss out on any of the horror videos I release.